Hey folks, thanks for joining Junction City today with your hosts Craig Beelick and Farrell Lafferty. On the ends right here and right smack dab in the middle is Teresa Puskedra. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
I have to make sure I've got to say that right because I've known you for a while, but I'm not sure that I've always pronounced that.
Yes, you have.
And we're here today to talk about the Ogden Surgical Medical Society's great big old, what do you guys call it, conference, a hoedown, shebang? What is
A
it?
conference. It's a continuing medical education conference.
Right.
People have conferences for that kind of stuff?
Yes.
I mean, I know there's stuff for like comic books and cars and people don't want to talk about surgery, do they, in their spare time?
Amazingly, Farrell has never heard of this. I'll bet you've never attended either.
Your buddies are like, yeah, I just replaced the valves in that 63 Chevy. They're like, yeah, well, I just, put a new shoulder on this 63-year-old guy last week.
It's even worse than that. You're over there going, I just replaced the valve in my truck, and the guy's like, I just replaced the valve in a guy.
Yeah.
In an actual guy.
Thank goodness there's people that like that for sure.
Yeah,
thank goodness.
Yeah. So Teresa, explain, what this actually is, because my guess is most of our viewers do not know about this, but it has been going on in Ogden for how long?
This will be our 74th year.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
So the physicians have to have between 40 and 50 community medical hours, continuing medical hours a year, and they can get 27.5 to 28.5 at our Ogden Surgical Medical Society conference.
And so the conference is basically a 4-day gathering.
Yes.
Of physicians and surgeons, and sometimes you guys throw in like artists and philosophers and
Yes.
and correctional facility guys. I remember
Yes.
that one. I'm completely serious. It was
Yes.
very interesting. He was talking about the unique needs of inmates.
Yes.
Yeah, and those sorts of things, and you get all these folks together so that they can learn. They learn about new stuff. Farrell's over there smiling like the cat that ate a canary.
I'm still on the inmates, but go ahead and continue.
And by the way, if you did eat a cat, or if you were a cat and you ate a canary, these guys could help you. But anyway, so they all get together, they talk about what's new, best practices, they get a chance to mingle and meet each other, all that sort of stuff, right?
Right.
Is it only open to physicians?
No, so it's open to anybody that would like to come up and learn about different topics that are going on each year. And specifically for our lunches, we try to do more general medical topics to get the public to come and listen.
Well, and we better get this out of the way right away. Website. If you are interested out there, especially those of you maybe that are thinking about or working on entering the medical field, this is a great opportunity for you to find out what's current, what's going on. A great opportunity for you to meet people that you may end up working with, or they may end up being your bosses at some point soon.
Right. So
Right.
you could register on ogdensurgical.com. So students and faculty are free. And then the public's free too, unless you want a meal.
Right. If you want the meal.
Yeah, you got to pay. There's no such thing as free lunch.
Right, exactly. See, Farrell's showing what he learned in college.
Yeah, right.
right there. You've got, I'm sure, a fantastic lineup this year. I've actually been to this event.
I would feel dumber than I already do going to something like that.
I've been to this event. It's actually really interesting. I mean, some of the things you hear, I just go, I had no clue. I just had no clue that people actually spent a lot of time working on that. Tell us about your lineup this year.
So Tuesday night on May 14th, we have Timothy Ballard, who's a former CIA agent, and he's founder of Operation Railroad, and he's going to be talking about rescuing children in human trafficking. He even has adopted a couple of the girls that he rescued in Haiti.
Oh, wow.
We also have Abdul Nasser Kadan, who was a visiting professor at Weber State last year, and now he has tenure. He's a orthopedic surgeon from Syria, and he speaks on medical history, and he's going to be speaking on Islamic medicine contributions to the world and the impact of the Syrian war on health facilities. And he actually was a nominee for the Nobel Nobel Prize for historical literature.
Wow. Wow. See, Farrell wants to come. Actually, Farrell, when he heard there was going to be somebody from the CIA there, he was like, I'm going to be out of town that day.
Totally uninterested.
Yeah.
My name's on file somewhere there, I'm sure.
How many people usually attend this?
So usually we get between like 550 and 600. So we have a lot of guests that come from the public or from the colleges. And then we have a lot of physicians that come, as well as nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, and different nurses, just different people that are involved in continuing in the medical field that need CME.
Right, and you can sort of choose what you come to, right? Like
Yes.
you don't have to come to the whole thing. You
No.
want to just come to one part or two
Right.
parts.
So Wednesday, our lunch speaker is Gary Green. So he's the medical director for Major League Baseball right now, and he was a past chair of the NCAA committee on drug testing and drug education. And he was a researcher for the UCLA Olympic Analytical Laboratory, and he's going to lecture on present and future of anti-doping and performance enhancing drugs in sports. And then Thursday for the lunch speaker, we have Richard Gunderman, who's a radiologist, professor, and author, and he's going to be speaking on We Make a Life by What We Give, which draws on his experience as a physician and educator to build a case for giving as an essential element in a full career in life. And he also is going to be speaking on We Come to Life with Those We Serve, fulfillment through philanthropy.
Right, right. Another good topic. Another good topic. And then, boom, your Friday
And
lunch
then our
speaker.
Friday lunch speaker is Samuel Shem, and he's author of the widely known novel House of God. And this will be his 40th anniversary since writing that book, and he's going to be having a sequel for that book, which is Man's Fourth Best Hospital. So his lecture is going to be How to Stay Human in Medicine from the House of God to Man's Fourth Best Hospital.
That's cool. He actually, anybody out there in the medical field probably already knows Samuel Shem. That book, House of God, is absolutely huge among residents that are doing their time in that profession. So, man, you got a lineup.
Yes, we do.
You got a lineup, and you've done this for how many years now?
10 years. 10
You've
years.
been doing it for 10 years?
Yes.
Good deal. Farrell, you're coming with me. I'm serious. I want you to choose one of these things, and you're coming as my guest. I'll buy lunch.
Well, then I'm there.
Right, and it's good lunch, too.
Yes.
Now, I think we have failed to mention where this is actually being held.
Right, so it's at Weber State University in the Union Building, the Stewart Union Building.
Right. Now, on top of all that, outside in the hallways and things like that, you have representatives from pharmaceutical companies, from medical device companies, from the local hospitals, Ogden Regional,
Yes.
and some of the other places, right?
Yes.
So you can get plenty of information for free just by cruising around the hallways.
Yes, and this year we're going to have a conference app. And so the people that attend, whether you attend as a physician or someone that needs your CME credits or as from the public, you could actually download the app and then do gamification by visiting the different vendors, including the hospitals.
Good deal.
You may have covered this, but what are CME credits?
So continuing medical education credits. So in order for...
Oh, well, that would make sense. No, I get it, because, like, you want your doctor to be up to date on, like,
Yes.
the latest thing, right?
Yes.
You don't want him putting you out with ether. You want to have, like, what you, like...
Without this, Farrell, you'd still be being treated with leeches right now. Without all this updating, that kind of. Think of it as, you periodically attend training for your job.
Yes. No, it makes sense.
This is basically training for.
Yes.
I don't think a bit past my nose and never made any sense to me that they would get together and they would exchange ideas and learn how to further their education. Thank goodness they do.
Thank goodness they do.
I run my finger in a table saw and need one of these guys.
You're going to need several of these guys if you lose a finger to the table saw. Teresa, did we cover it? Did we get it all in there? You are
Yeah,
really
we
prepared.
did.
Farrell and I were commenting on
Yeah.
this. We have never had a guest come this prepared.
Yeah, if you're
for
going
it.
to organize any kind of event, this is the woman to talk to.
Yeah, you need her. This is the person you need to organize your event. I mean, she's fun,
I'm
she's
going to
nice.
have to organize my life, to be honest with you.
I know, exactly. Well, you can expect Farrell for the lunch, and there's a whole lot of other things. You need to know more about this, especially if you're a medical professional, because there are outside activities and things like that. And of course, those CME credits are very important to a lot of people that work in the medical field. So here's a great way to get them. Here's a fun way to do it, and this is going to be fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
bet.
Thank
You
you.
bet. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Farrell.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you for watching Junction City today, and hopefully you'll tune in again despite Craig Bielik and Farrell's hosting.
Or Craig's anyway.
At least mine. Thank you. Bye.